Hello there, we got Rocks, and today we are working on learning how to speak. Now, teaching dog speak is not something we typically put in our curriculum, but teaching a dog to speak that is actually a barker can be very useful because it gives his senseless barking, it gives it now meaning and a purpose. Now for right now, I'm just teaching him to do it on cue, and eventually the purpose of the bark will be to tell you when he needs to go outside. So right now I'm actually just showing you the process. I'm showing the process because it's very cute and funny. And you'll see, like, it seems like he's going through a lot of emotions trying to figure out what I want. And eventually what we'll end up doing here is transitioning it to asking if he has to go potty, and this actually having doors open and giving it that particular purpose. So this is a process, but he will figure it out quickly because Rox does like to bark. And then along with barking, you can also ask him to hush. So then he knows the meaning of both, when it's appropriate to speak and when it is not appropriate to speak. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you that process. All right, what are we doing, buddy? What are we doing? Can you speak? What? Can you speak? He's getting really silly and wiggly. And how I started this actually is how to start with teaching a dog to speak is you do it in a place typically where you actually do get the barking, and you mark those good moments, and we clean it up from there. So typically when he barks is when he rushes to get out of his crate. Now I did not start with his crate because I don't want him yelling at you to release him from his crate. However, I did start over here with this baby gate, and what I did was every time he spoke, he gave me one singular bark. I would give it click, give him a treat, and I also let him pass, which is going to teach him that this can quite literally open doorways for him. Now, again, we are going to clean this up, and eventually it's literally only going to mean open the doorway to go potty, but it is a little bit of a process and we will clean it up. But this is how you just teach him to bark on cue. All right, so I'm going to go on the other side of this gate and try it from here since we're cleaning this up. Excuse me, sir. Good boy. Okay. So what I did was I got really silly on this side, and I was just kind of like, playing with my hands. Good boy. Good job. Now, because I'm taking a video, I was not able to click, so I'm just going to say good boy and give him a treat. And again, it's kind of double reward. I open this doorway so he feels like, oh, wow, my bark has power. Okay. What are you doing? What? Good boy. Good job. Good boy. Now, I'm not rewarding that whining. Whining is really not something most people like, but a nice, meaningful, strong bark can be really useful. And I'm going to move on onto a doorway in just a moment to see if he is going to understand what I'm asking of him. Hey, Rox, can you... Good boy. I didn't even get to say it. Yeah, good job. Good boy. So it's a great degree of problem solving on his part, but it's relatively simple once he figures out what I'm asking him to do. Now that he is doing this pretty consistently, I'm going to start calling it speak. So, hey, Rox, will you speak? Speak. That's not quite it. Good boy. Good job. Good job. And again, I'm not going to reward that baby whining just because we want a nice clear bark when he needs to go potty. And we don't really want to reward that whining. That's not necessarily something people like. Hey, Roxy, you speak? You gotta speak. Good boy. Good job. Good job. That's a good boy. Good. Okay, and now we're going to try this with a doorway and see if you will understand it this way. Hey, you got to wait. Thank you. All right. Now this time this doorway, it does have glass pane, so I'm hoping that we'll get the same desired effect. All right. Who wants to go through here? Hey, Rox, will you speak? Hey, will you speak? Good boy. So because this doorway is a little bit harder, I'm going to allow that little huff. It wasn't whining, but it wasn't a very clear, strong bark. But I'm going to continue to work that, and he will eventually make the decision to do a louder, more clear bark because that's okay. He got it right. So we're setting him up for success, giving the opportunity to do the right thing. All right, I'm going to do it on this side, and this doorway is actually wonderful because you get to see the process because it is glass. Hey, Rox, will you speak? Good boy. And again, good job. So he did decide to do a much clearer speak. Now, I am not saying speak more than once like our typical cues. I'm going to give him the opportunity to figure it out because it does work better that way. If I just continue to repeat myself, your cue for speak is going to be speak, 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 speak. You don't necessarily want that. Good. I'm going to do that one more time. and then try it with the door to actually go outside. Hey, Rox, will you speak? Good boy. Good job. That's a good boy. It's a good boy. All right, now let's try this with the door to go outside. This will be really difficult because he will not be able to see me, but let's see if he makes that connection. Now, you'll notice that I'm doing this as I'm on the other side of the door. Eventually, I'm going to try this on the same side. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and try it now. Hey, Rox, will you speak? You're so cute. Well, Rox, speak. Real speak. Good boy. Good job. Good job. Good. Now that was a very good example of a real life reward. He spoke and this door to the outside world opened. Very good boy. And now he's going to go check on his brother, of course. All right, now here we are at your fence that we do want him to go potty. We don't necessarily want them to be making a mess where the playground is, so I'm going to try and get him to speak at this gateway as well, so he can choose to go potty in the right places and get rewarded. Come here, Rox. Come here. All right, I'm going to do it on this side. Hey, Rox, will you speak? Rox. Good boy. That's a very good boy. Rox caught onto this fairly quickly. He didn't want to bark at first, which means that he is understanding to hush. But I love teaching him this because it means that he can quite literally have a voice and communicate with you much simpler. You mentioned that you don't want to do a bell, and I completely understand that. I don't have a bell in my house just because bells are incredibly annoying, and a dog literally barking at you to tell them to go potty is so simple because you don't have to rely on a tool, just his voice. So he's doing really, really good with this. I'm very excited. Let me know if you have any questions. We'll continue to clean this up. But what you can start doing for practice is every time it is potty time, release them from their crates. Don't release them from their crates when they're barking, though. You want them to be nice and calm before you open those doors. But when you get to that doorway to actually go outside to go potty, you can go ahead and start asking them, hey, do you guys want to go potty? Ask him to wait for him to speak to open that door and then immediately bring them out here. But when he barks, that will literally be his ticket or the password to go potty. So, okay, we'll keep expanding on this, and you let me know if you have any questions. See ya.